So, The Avengers, a small, under-the-radar independent art film some of you may remember hearing about last year, is spinning off into a new Joss Whedon-overseen television series for ABC, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which will evidently focus on a top-secret government agency in charge of investigating obscure references to old comic books and world-building for upcoming feature films. Previously, the big mystery hovering over this series was the question of how Clark Gregg's Agent Phil Coulson is alive again after having been killed off in The Avengers. We still don't know the answer to that one, but now that the series has been officially previewed, the internet is now obsessed with a different mystery. Who is this unnamed superhuman in the previews?
What is that?
That's a superhero, Agent Ward.
Now, it's totally possible that he's not anybody, i.e. a totally original character, but since everyone knows the whole hook of this show is that it takes place in the increasingly superhero-filled Marvel Cinematic Universe, it feels like a safe bet that he'll turn out to be somebody specific. So I figured, what the hell, let's drop a roster of potential candidates. Now, the only special ability he's shown to have is super strength, which doesn't narrow things down at all. But he's also black, and depressingly, that does narrow things down quite a bit. And since I think Marvel still isn't allowed to use the characters from X-Men unless this airs on Fox, that makes the list even smaller. Ultimately, I got down to a solid list of 10 guys who this could plausibly be, here organized from least to most likely, and since time is of the essence, here we go. Maxim. Okay, it's almost 100% certain that this is not Maxim, an obscure figure who in the comics is a hero from an alternate universe with super strength and the power to increase his own body mass. But his power set fits the overall profile, and he has continuity connections to Gamora, the alien warrior who Zoe Saldana will be playing in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, so he goes on the list. The Black Panther. This guy has been talked about for his own movie somewhere down the line, so I'd call this just about as unlikely as Maxim. Anyway, short version, you ever seen Coming to America? Okay, well, Black Panther is that guy if he was also Batman. Real name T'Challa, Black Panther is the king of the African nation Wakanda, which pretends to be a primitive jungle tribe, but is actually a secret, super advanced civilization with technology and culture far ahead of many Western societies. It's also the world's sole source of the supermineral vibranium, the stuff Captain America's shield is made out of. Main reason I doubt it's him, he's not wearing his Black Panther uniform. Blade. You're more than likely familiar with this formerly obscure 70s hero from a 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad series of movies starring Wesley Snipes. Real name Eric Draven, Blade is a half-human, half-vampire daywalker who uses martial arts and advanced weaponry to hunt and kill the Marvel Universe's surprisingly numerous population of vampires. It'd be kinda cool if it was him, and Marvel did just recently get the rights to the character back, but I just don't see it happening here. Night Thrasher. This identity and basic costume have been used by 2 guys, both of them brothers, one of whom was a mutant, and mainstays of the teenage super team, the New Warriors. Honestly, it's probably not either of them, since they generally used body armor and eskrima sticks instead of having super strength, but they help make this list an even 10, so there you go. Maybe it's Night Thrasher, but it's totally not Night Thrasher. The Blue Marvel. Created by stuntman, actor, writer, microbiologist, and Underworld concept creator Kevin Grevioux, Blue Marvel, real name Adam Brasher, was supposedly for a brief time the most powerful superhero in the Marvel Universe of the late 50s and early 60s, but was forced to retire when his original face-concealing mask came off during a battle, revealing his race and leaving too many people of the era uncomfortable with the idea of a super-strong African-American living among them. Now, the guy in the preview doesn't look much older than his mid-30s, so this is unlikely, but a matched power set is a matched power set, and plus he's got an interesting angle. Maybe this is a descendant. And speaking of legacy characters, the Bradleys. Okay, some real history is required alongside the comic book history for this one, and it's not pleasant history, so bear with me. Between 1932 and 1972, the U.S. Public Health Service secretly infected a group of African-American men with syphilis under the false pretense of providing free medical care in order to study the disease long-term. This was called the Tuskegee Syphilis Experiment, and it's today remembered as one of the most grotesque civil rights violations in American history. In 2003, writer Robert Morales used this event as part of the inspiration for the controversial Marvel miniseries Truth, Red, White, and Black, in which the U.S. Army during World War II uses a group of black soldiers as test subjects in an unsuccessful experiment to recreate the super soldier serum that turned Steve Rogers into Captain America. The only survivor, Isaiah Bradley, used his enhanced strength and makeshift costume to undertake missions against Hitler on his own, only to find himself screwed over and imprisoned by his own government for his trouble. It gets even more complicated and tragic after that, but Bradley did survive and has a biological son with similar powers named Josiah X, a soldier turned Muslim minister and superhero residing in Brooklyn, New York. Through his daughter, he also has a grandson named Elijah who serves as the teenage superhero The Patriot, a founding member of the Young Avengers. Given that one of the main characters for the series is Coulson, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s resident Captain America fanboy, it could be pretty interesting if this turns out to be one of the Bradleys given the Cap connection. Rage. A lot of people think this is the top candidate because a drawing of him is seen during the Marvel logo before the trailers. If so, it'd be an interesting choice. Real name Evan Halliday, as a 13-year-old he was exposed to toxic waste which granted him super strength and caused him to age physically into an adult body, though he still has the mind of a young teenager. He's been both a reserve Avenger and a member of the New Warriors, but really it's that backstory that would make him stand out as a presence here. Power Man. A couple different Marvel Universe people have used the name Power Man, but the one in question is Victor Alvarez. Teenage New Yorker of Afro-Dominican descent with the power to increase his strength by absorbing ambient energy. He's the son of the obscure supervillain Shades, aka Evil Black Cyclops. Definitely possible, but like I said, there's another guy who's called himself Power Man before, and he just happens to be Luke Cage. Wrongly imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, Carl Lucas was subjected to experiments which granted him bulletproof skin and superhuman strength. Escaping and changing his name to Luke Cage, he set up shop as Marvel's first hero for hire, the superhero whose services you can purchase. Ubiquitous throughout the 70s and early 80s, he largely faded from view until getting revived as a supporting player in Alias and becoming a fan favorite who later joined the New Avengers. I'd call Cage the most likely candidate because he's well known, very popular in the comics at the moment, and they've been trying to get him into either the movies or a TV project for as long as Marvel has been making their own stuff. His origin and or background don't really need a movie to explain, though I happen to think it could be fun anyway, so this would be as efficient a way as any to give the character a trial run before maybe graduating him up to the still diversity-deprived Avengers. So yeah, my money's on one of these 10 guys. We'll find out the real answer when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premieres this fall. I'm Bob, and that's the big picture.